Hello and welcome to round 7 of Grand Prix Boston-Worcester. I'm Ben Swartz, joined here in the booth by Ray Punsalon.
Hello, everybody.
And what a match we've got for you. You've got Cedric Phillips on the right-hand side of the screen, representing his stream team, playing against Jason Ford with his newly minted mohawk on the left-hand side of your screen.
Jason led off the game with Chronometon. A lot of people have been gaining more and more respect as the format has been growing.
Timberpack Wolf for Cedric Phillips on the right-hand side.
I haven't had an opportunity to play with a crazy Timberpack Wolf deck yet.
Ooh, but it looks like Cedric is stuck on lands. He had to discard his spiked Bailoff.
Oh, that was to the Ravenous Rats.
Sorry.
But you might be right. No, he does have his third land.
Searing Spear takes out the Chronometon. Timberpack Wolf gets in very aggressively to Jason's face. These two players are friendly. So they're playing as such. Blade Tusk Boar for Jason.
So Cedric will drop to 19 there.
Because of the Ravenous Rats.
The Ravenous Rats. Getting his life total set. All right.
Cedric thinking over his options.
Looks like he drew a pacifism, his third color. Like we were talking about, Cedric was saying his deck, or I saw his deck look awesome if he hits his land drops. If not, things get interesting.
Second Blade Tusk Boar for Jason. And Cedric did draw planes this turn, so he's cooking with gas.
Got his colors there.
What you got? Fourth color? Fourth color?
Mulling over his options. He'll just play a land and pass the turn. Does he have a Divine Verdict?
Must be a Divine Verdict. I saw a pacifism in Cedric's hand, so.
Jason has no fear. Attacks him with both of his boars. One gets Verdict away. Cedric falls to 12.
Yeah, Cedric wanting to hold back the Ravenous Rats. No play for Jason there.
Timberpack Wolf continues to march on in. Pacifism on the Blade Tusk Boar before Cedric passes it back.
Ready? Triplicate, or four.
So Jason Ford plays 7 land. That turns on the Chronos Memorial in his deck, but he's a really aggressive deck. He doesn't really want to see 7 land.
How do you like Chronos Memorial?
It's insane.
Really?
It turns all your creatures into unbeatable threats.
Yeah, sometimes you see it. It could be a little too slow in some decks.
In drafts, maybe.
Yeah.
In draft, maybe, but in sealed. Almost always playing it. Like as I said, it's probably the worst card in Jason's deck, but that's just because his deck is really
very
aggressive.
Good.
And very, very good.
12
So Timberpack Wolf gets in for another 2. Jason drops to 12.
Looks like Jason, does Jason have something? Looks like he's thinking, nope.
It's like, no, I'm not going to take it back.
Just passes it with no turn 4 drop. Is that
Rats
another
gets
Chronometon? So double Chronometon in your deck.
What's going on here?
Jason Ford holding on to a Mind Rot.
Yeah, I mean, with Cedric with so many cards in hand, Mind Rot doesn't have the full value that it normally does.
You're just like making up things. I am. We got to put you on FBC. Oh,
Duty Bound Dead for Jason.
Cedric goes trade right there with his acidic slime.
I didn't see what Cedric is keeping his hand close to his chest.
2. Deuce.
Looks like he has another pacifism in there.
I think he has a Thundermaw Hellkite in his hand.
10. 10. Switch to 5.
Yep, that's what he does. Plays it on the battlefield, tapped and attacking. 5/5 to Jason. Jason falls to 5 life. He needs something. He needs one of his murders to take care of that Hellkite.
There's a turn to slag right in his hand right there.
Okay, so that will do it.
Yeah, Cedric held back his Timberwatch Wolf because no point in attacking when he could just regenerate off of it.
Yep, turn to slag takes out the Thundermaw. Hellkite. Cedric.
Come in here. Quick chump from Jason. Still got low life. A lot of things that could finish off the game if he was left unblocked.
Ooh. Monwolvi Tracker. That will get the worm for Cedric. Or
no. It needs to have Death Touch, Reach.
Or Trample, right?
Or Trample. Oh, yeah.
The worm does have Trample, because I saw Cedric fetch it up.
Well, he's a little off from worm mana as well. So.
Sure. Yeah, so
That will come on top of the deck.
Munwolvi Beast Tracker. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a creature card with Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample, and put it on top, like he did with Sentinel Spider. Mind Rot on Cedric. He'll discard a Forest and a Pacifism.
Keeping an Oblivion Ring in his hand.
And Krenko, Mob Boss, will get quickly Oblivion Ringed by Cedric. And Cedric will bash him with both of his creatures, forcing Jason to chump block with his Duty Bound Dead and fall to 3 life. Jason really needs something, no cards in hand. Did he draw something good? Nope. Cedric Phillips, ladies and gentlemen, will take the first game here in round 7 of Grand Prix Boston Worcester. There you get a good look at the fish face of Cedric Phillips. I think he's doing a little victory whistle.
Pretty happy there. Whistling probably, this is an easy game, blah, blah, blah. My life is great. Probably happy too. He's like, I saw how awesome your deck was. Things could have gone real bad.
I mean, both players know each other's decks because we talked it over.
Sure that Timberwolf pack was in there.
Cedric had all his removal there, double pacifism, Divine Verdict, Oblivion Ring.
Hanging out, trading all day.
I think our audience could hear what they're saying. We don't know what they're saying, but
we're the only ones left out of the joke.
Yeah, left out of it.
It's all nonsense.
Sean says it's all of the best conversation ever. Right?
John, can I ask you a question about this guy? Sure.
If you're just joining us, it's round.
What is going on? Cedric gave the Thundermaw Hellkite to Jason, and Jason took it. I don't understand what's going on.
He might be asking a judge call. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, if you're just joining us, round 7 here at Grand Prix Boston. Going to be 10 rounds total today. 9 rounds and then a cut, and then 10th round, one more round with your CL deck. Over 1,800 plus players here. There's Cedric. He's pretty excited about his win. Game 1 win against Jason. Both know each other's decks very well.
Let's make
Because
sure
they're
he's
friends,
still there.
not for any other reason.
There he is. Okay.
These are some of the most animated players in the game right now. So
Just watching Jason just thumb through his deck just looks really awesome.
Were you in town
Deck's
already?
very
Or
good.
I got back.
Veilborn Ghoul, one of the cards he's bringing in.
He's not going to
Oh, no.
Like a week to school. Went to a Bruce Springsteen concert last Saturday with my mom.
Looked like for a second he was adding those cards.
My mom cares more about Bruce Springsteen.
Players shuffling up. We got their deck list.
At my
So I can
peak.
go over how good
Not just
Jason's
now.
deck
Just,
is.
yeah.
She likes the Bruce, huh?
Jason, 2 Bloodhunter Bats,
Went to Italy to see
2 Duty Bound
That's
Deads,
absurd.
1 Murder, 2 Rats, 2
That's
Vampire Nighthawk. Wait,
what?
Vampire Nighthawk?
because the crowds are so much better.
It's in the same spot on the deck list.
Italy's the best
Almost the exact same spot on the deck
They
list
love
as it
it.
was in
2
Central.
Vampire Nighthawks.
Vampire
I'm
Nighthawk,
willing to
yeah.
believe the crowds are better in Europe.
Cedric
because I
has
found them
3
better for
pacifism and 2
soccer,
Oblivion Ring.
Is that good?
wrestling, that's
It
fine.
seems
But
alright.
now I'm willing there to see them.
I didn't realize his deck was that sweet.
The crowds are better because
Wow, 3 Oblivion Ring, 2 pacifisms,
the wrestling guys
Divine
are
Verdict.
like once every 2 years or something.
That's a collection of removal right there.
Whereas over here, you get into like anywhere and see wrestling.
Yeah, the European crowds are fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't look like Cedric made many changes to his
Just
deck.
Look at how they celebrate soccer. And it's like, we can't even do that. There's no way.
absurd. Fucking joke.
Of course, we had the Elder Scale Worm we mentioned
Anything.
earlier. He also, let's see if Cedric has anything else. Oh, the Thundermaw Hellkite, so.
And the Munwolvi Beast Tracker to go get them.
This is just like not good.
Or go get the Elder Skill Worm.
Didn't attack at the rats, and
Not
you're like,
the-
you sure? And I was
Can't
like,
get the haste creature. You
I'm not
cannot
gonna back
get
off at this
Can't
point.
get haste or flying
I was like,
creatures.
maybe he'll just like think I have kindled here. And I
Hexproof,
was like, he
trample.
wouldn't care.
Yeah, wolf down.
touch.
Yeah.
Wolf
You
down.
can get the. He's got an
Reach.
acidic slime in his deck.
I don't really know what my angle
Is
was.
Reach one of
Wasn't
them or
good
no?
enough.
No.
Yeah.
Or
Got me thinking. I almost did attack.
Reach or Vigilance has to
I,
be one.
I almost
because
told
got
you
the
before you
Sentinel
did
Spider.
attack, and I was like, maybe there's like the 2%.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, Reach. Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample.
someone's just like going off on the street. That
Yeah.
fucking
That's
retard.
yeah, Mohawk and that idiot. I can't
So I'm curious
believe
what Jason Ford was asking a judge
Oh,
about
this guy's
Thundermaw.
7-0.
Let me read the exact text for you guys.
Play.
3 red flying haste. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature with flying your opponent's control. Tap those creatures.
Yeah, we'll draw.
So,
Block.
I've seen this move before.
Oh, I
I've
think
seen
I
this
know
today.
what he was asking, which is if
I mean, you're just gonna
Cedric
run
plays
through
it
Yeah.
and taps to attack, maybe does it automatically
You're not the first one
do
to
the
do this today.
trigger? I know that trigger rules have changed a little bit. I believe it still does, but maybe I'm wrong.
I just refuse to believe it. I don't even know why I look at
I
the
mean,
cards.
they're friends. I don't think that would make a difference, really.
Yeah.
Really, every mulligan for me is like hard to believe.
So
Like,
it looks like
I'll
Cedric
find any
Mulligan this
reason to
hand?
justify it.
Believe so.
And then like I'll mentally recreate the hand. So if
Jason
I tell
probably
somebody
playing
after the
first.
game,
We haven't seen any.
it's just a
I don't
lie.
think we've seen a draw deck yet.
It never happened.
Most of these decks look pretty aggressive. Where maybe Cedric's deck would be more draw.
Cedric has been drawn.
Yeah.
But against
Only one in
Jason's
the
decks,
starter,
you might
but
not want
that's
to use
perfectly
Jason's
fine.
decks.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
So Cedric would be one of the first draw type of decks that we've seen today.
One land ponder. I can't believe I didn't find a second land. What?
so there you go.
There's some starts that Jason.
That's not
It's
true.
really unbeatable if you don't have a piece of removal. Anything like the see a duty bound dead and then a vampire nighthawk. Yeah, that's tough times with Cedric there.
Duty Bound Dead into
What's
what are
his
some good-
worst?
Chronomaton, maybe. That's not like Ravenous Rats into Vampire Nighthawk
That's
into
not good.
Bloodhunter Bat or Blade Tuskboard
Oh, and Cedric is going down again.
to 5.
Worm.
Jeez.
No, I feel
He
like
has
you
the mulligan
keep Worm
aggressively in his
Hellkite
deck because it's
and pretty much
colors,
anything else.
but
I would keep
he
6
didn't want to
lands if that was
mulligan
my
this
opening hand.
aggressively.
Yeah, sure.
You're kind of
Like I said, I
rusty.
will do anything to
Asking for
justify that.
contact solution.
Like
Got eye drops.
Title button, I'm like, this is
Same
land,
thing.
boys.
Anything can happen. All sides of it are good. If we draw lands, it's
close.
fine. We draw spells, it's fine.
You got me what I wanted, so
The right flavor too.
yeah.
It's like you get good
I think
enough
that was
where
'cause
you
he
start
invested in
mulliganing
Chris, he
and then
also
you
needed
digress
them.
back. You have to like
That's
you
true.
just like but the odds are in favor of
He
you
doesn't
not
wear
drawing
contacts, so he
lands now.
doesn't understand the difference.
Like
He
you
drops
just
his solution.
reconvince yourself all those things you told yourself to forget.
I think I would still understand the difference.
you're an
I
idiot.
don't want to do that.
You're bumbling moron.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
That's-
Retarded?
Hopefully, it'll be a competitive game still, despite the mulligans.
Crazy thing to say.
I mean, constructed.
Both
I
decks are surely powerful enough
I
to
hate mulligan construct. I
fight
love
through these
mulligan.
mulligans.
See, I feel like in limited, it's just like
Cedric just has the issue with
make it like two-headed
mana,
everyone
with
gets a
being
free
3
color.
colors.
Yeah. It's real bad.
And also, both decks have all of these 1-for-1s.
Yep. Game on.
You're just gonna like
So
roll
the
these,
disadvantage for Cedric is going to be pretty large. Looks like Jason starts things off.
Jason went for a draw. Went to draw.
Okay. Land go for both players. Jason does not have any swamps to cast that Vampire Nighthawk in his hand. His first play is Chronomaton on turn 3.
Picks up a swamp that
No,
was
no, 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 no.
short.
And
Oh,
Mind
you
Rot.
prick.
Oh, that wasn't
There's a lot
nice.
of good ones too,
No.
isn't
Are
it?
you serious?
After
Yeah,
Cedric
you're gonna
mulligan
embarrass yourself.
down
Let's see.
to
Would you like
5
to see instead of show me 2 cards?
Step 1.
on the
Okay.
play.
Chandra's Fury is the first card discarded.
Step 2.
And Canyon Minotaur. Looks like Cedric is short on mountains, but he oh, it's so,
So
crushing. He discarded the Canyon Minotaur because he thought he'd be unable to cast it.
He's on 1. He never got
Of
past
course,
1 last
mountain
time.
right off the top
See,
makes
So
that play look
stupid.
foolish. Jason starts activating his Chronomaton.
Mine route line molded 5. Yeah, okay, bro.
Yeah, so he has a what's that volcanic,
Volcanic
strength.
Strength and a Blade Tuskboard in hand. Looks like
And
he's going to play Duty Bound Dead and pass. He wants to keep that mana open to activate Chronomaton.
acidic slime on swamp probably. Jason Ford was getting rid of Chronomaton.
That one's interesting. Chronomaton can get out fast. Get out of hand very, very quickly, rather. But if Cedric has another kill spell to deal with it, that Divine Verdict in hand, for example, then maybe he wants to try to mana screw Jason or deny him of lands. But Cedric goes ahead and makes sort of a safe play, getting rid of the Chronomaton with Acidic Slime.
And probably reasoning that he could always divine verdict the next guy, so he'll get
Sure.
2 meaningful creatures. Oh, gets rid of divine verdict. Probably Oblivion Ring then.
It's the last card.
Yeah.
Jason has 6 cards in hand. Cedric
With a
only has 1.
Disentomb.
Volcanic Strength and the Duty Bound Dead. Attack Cedric in for 3, dropping Cedric to 17.
Mountain walking.
Thundermaw Hellkite off the top, attack you for 7. Jason falls to 13. And now he's on quite the clock. Cedric clapping his hands, praying that Jason's got nothing.
Now, what is that card that Jason just drew? I'm not as familiar with that artwork.
That's the Phoenix.
Oh, the Phoenix? Oh, so that is the Firewing Phoenix that returns. Not big enough to trade with the Thundermaw Hellkite.
Nope, but Duty Bound Dead will attack in maybe? Yep.
14.
And Krenko Mob Boss for Jason. Oblivion Ring on Krenko, attack in. Ravenous Rat's gonna chump block the Acidic Slime? No? Jason's content falling to 6.
I'm 6.
Cedric attacks quicker than anyone out there.
Yeah. It seemed clear Cedric had that Oblivion ring.
What? No! No!
As of discarding the
Okay.
Divine Verdict. Vampire Nighthawk for Jason will keep the Thundermile Hellkite at bay for a little while.
Oh, you're scum.
Cedric not happy about it. I was hoping that his
know.
mulligan to 5 was going to be an easy path to victory. But Vampire Nighthawk's going to halt things there.
This game.
Jason also has a Disentomb in his hand. Bring back the Nighthawk a little bit later.
Ah, you tricked me so good.
Does
Oh,
Cedric have one of his
actually.
past visits to take out the Nighthawk?
You can't just Crinko me. You're not expecting me to do
He's going to attack
something.
with the Acidic Slime to force
it
Jason
was a
to
dick move.
either
That
take
was
2 or
not
Trump
nice.
Walk with the Ravenous Rats.
So Cedric kept the Oblivion ring
Flying
and
ball.
just saved it
Okay.
in case he ever
Your
needed
turn.
to end the game quickly.
I've been tricked.
Ending the game quickly, you would just Thundermaw Hellkite.
Tomfoolery,
He could have just sat on
ballyhoo.
his Oblivion ring and only remove anything that
I'm
would
not
be
supposed to overring that?
a nuisance.
Yeah,
Didn't matter,
Like
man.
Krenko probably wouldn't have been fast enough to catch up.
I want to feel in control. 8.
Duty to Bound Dead continues to get in for 3 a turn,
Triple spear you.
chipping away at Cedric's life total. And the Firewing Phoenix comes down for Jason.
Cedric's at 8. See
Jason's
what he
at
drew
6.
here.
What do you got?
6.
Cedric with that Thundermaw Hellkite,
Say that.
the Acidic Slime, and the Oblivion Ring on Krenko Mob Boss.
Card draw.
If it wasn't for the Mind Rats, Cedric's mulligan of 5 would have
Yeah.
took him there probably.
He had a couple lucky draws along the way.
Nope.
JMD Tome,
Not enough to activate it, but
Murder drawn off the top for Jason. That'll take care of the Hellkite
Tapped out.
if it ever becomes a problem.
and close out the game as well.
It's murder.
I think so.
Yeah. Cedric has no cards in hand.
4, 6. Cedric has to block the Duty Bound Dead with the Acidic Slime.
It's Mountain Walker.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that will close out the game. I missed the Volcanic Strike's second ability. But there we go. Jason Ford evens things up at 1 game apiece with his
Puts right
stylish
in.
mohawk
Puts right in.
and his
He's just as happy as Cedric was when he won his
He'll
first
just-
game.
Yeah, okay. This is legitimate. I think it's
two
fine,
having
man.
a
I think
lot
it's
of fun
great.
here
Game's over, dude.
in round
Okay.
7 of Grand Prix Boston Worcester.
In the
My
booth right
line
now
was
is
looking like
myself,
Blake
Ray
Phoenix's
Punzlun,
jump.
along with Ben
Jumping.
Swartz.
You
Living
can
on
follow
Fred.
either of us on Twitter,
Dream.
Ray at Ray Dustud, and me at _BenSW.
Of course, Gigi's live as well at ggslive.com or at GGS Live.
And of course at Magic Pro Tour to get updates from the wonderful text coverage that we've got, led by, right? That led by Blake Rasmussen and Mark
Fucking
Caldero.
awful against you. You have like 8 passive resistance.
So both players
Yeah, I don't
Looks
know
like
why
they're
you
digging
brought
their
it. It's actually
sideboards.
not good at all.
seeing what they could do there.
Jason Ford flaunting that volcanic strength that allowed him
It
to
worked. It worked.
crack through for the last points of damage in that previous game.
That Mongo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, does
King of the Mongos?
Cedric have
Volcanic strength?
any volcanic strengths at his disposal? Does not look like it.
I feel something. Don't know if it's good or bad, but I feel it.
Even though
sure.
Cedric mulliganified there, got Mind Rotted, got Ravenous Rats. He still had some opportunity to win there if he just saved the Oblivion Ring, but it still would have been close.
He still would have lost the game.
Yeah, he still would have lost the game. Krenko still would have finished him off or something, but
No, I mean, he was dead to the same cards.
Record?
Maybe
Record?
not.
I'm not sure.
close.
Looking at Cedric's list, maybe he had more outs afterwards if he saved the Oblivion Ring. I mean,
Gotta get it in,
he had
right?
Searing Spear in his deck,
Gauge your reaction.
so maybe saving the Oblivion Ring was right, but
I'm not
he
sure.
didn't. He didn't end up drawing it anyway, so wouldn't have made much of a difference there.
I would just say if you paid through my dinner, but that's probably not legal.
See if Cedric draws this time.
No,
Jason
actually,
made
that man
Cedric
could
play
do
last
something.
time.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure.
It's really interesting.
You don't know how jokes go down in the Magic world. GP
Especially
Columbus,
because I
been
feel
there,
like
done
both
that.
their decks are.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
Right,
Jason
kicking
drew
your
first,
ass out the
because he knew that
door.
Cedric wanted to draw
If
first.
I.
A little sub game going on between the two.
You're so
Yeah, usually if you know what your opponent wants,
I'm definitely going
You
to
want
lose
them
this.
to-
yeah,
That's what I'm holding by.
let's take it away from them.
That's how Magic works.
so dead.
There's a chance to win.
Players shuffling up for the deciding game 3 here in round 7.
Yeah, Cedric has Some outs to the volcanic strength already in his deck with
You're
acidic
excited to
slime.
play that over too.
Oh my god. So I've never played.
You're like,
Not
you
sure
I
we have
played
much
fast for
else.
game one.
I mean,
but I
all
played
his
really
all
fast
his regular
Uh,
removal really good against it too.
You discard Bard. I'm like, well, it's either over or pacifism, and either way, this Krenko's going down, and he has to.
Well, I mean, if it was pacifism, he wasn't going down.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if it was
So,
over.
so I was lucky it was like the better one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your deck tricked you.
Okay, looks like we'll have a game 3 in just a couple moments.
Sneaky little eyes. Peering out across the table.
Trying to think of other changes
Can't
Cedric
even
could
see
have done
anything.
there,
He's
maybe help him out.
unlucky.
How many black sources did Jason end the game with? Was it only the 2?
Only the 2. He could have
Yeah.
slimed the swamp instead of the Chronometon.
Yeah, then he would have avoided the Vampire Nighthawk, avoided the murder.
It's true, but the Chronometon might have.
I think I'd have to rewatch the game. Well, the Chronometon could have been handled by acidic slime.
Maul.
I'd have to rewatch the game to see if there was
I'm so dead.
any room for change there, and that would have made a difference for Cedric.
Looks like Jason is going to
Play
keep,
Magic.
He has the Chronometon in hand.
and Cedric's going to keep. Yeah, turn 1 Chronometon, turn 1 pass for Cedric. Turn 2 Duty Bound Dead. No attack with the Chronometon. He wants to fire it out. But Deadly Recluse will.
This guy
create a
never gets
blocker.
past 1.
Not today, not ever.
If Cedric wants to go ahead and block the Chronometon, that's of course if Jason Ford attacks. Jason Ford just plays land go.
It's content to growing his Chronometon.
And Rummaging Goblin for Cedric on turn 3.
See, I think Jason has the 4th land.
Yep, and a Blade Tusk Boar. Blade Tusk Boar a little worse because Cedric has red
By
cards,
the way,
but
nice Tron.
still, pretty aggressively
natural.
costed.
No problem.
Green has some pretty awesome comments. With Deadly Recluse,
Yeah.
Prey Upon, Sentinel Spider.
Yeah, sure does.
They have some pretty hot commons there.
5 cards.
Black might be a little better in the comment slot overall. But it's
Murder.
pretty close. Yeah, they got Murder. I can't think of is there a black uncommon, a black common you wouldn't play?
See, this is awkward.
There's got to
'cause,
be a
like,
black common you wouldn't play.
You know,
I'm trying to think of the
Dark
worst
Favor.
card.
So you know what that did to
People
me?
still play that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea.
True.
I'm not that
Disentomb is
smart,
still
though.
playable.
This again.
So
Is it obvious I have acidic slime in my hand or no?
looks like a second Duty Bound Dead joins Jason's force, and an Acidic Slime. Is that going to take out the Mountain or the Chronometon? Looks like the Chronometon.
It's glorious.
Little does Cedric know, Jason's got a Disentomb if he wants to return that Chronometon. But meanwhile, the Deadly Recluse will attack in for a point.
See, I feel like I would have gone for the Mountain there, just because you have 2 Death Touch guys that can handle Chronometon. But I guess Cedric could also be thinking if that Volcanic Strength comes out, Chronometon is unbeatable.
Sure. Yeah, pretty unbeatable. Ravenous Rats will force Cedric to discard. Let's see what he chooses to discard. He's got all the colors he needs.
He has a Divine Verdict, a Pacifism in his hands, and a couple cards he can't make out. And Blade Tusk Boar coming in for 5.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like Cedric discards that Divine Verdict.
This game is so hard.
For you, maybe.
Let's see what kind of cards he's have
It's
over
easy
to
to
Divine
control.
Verdict. Just drew an Elvish Visionary for the turn.
I believe I also see a Searing Spear in Cedric's hand. Cedric considering if he wants to go ahead and attack one of the Deadly Recluse, but he'll first play an Elvish Visionary.
Both of the Death Touch guys are coming in.
Yep, Acidic Slime and Deadly Recluse will attack in.
3 cards.
Jason has, let's see, Disentomb, Return to Slag. Don't see anything. One other card that couldn't make out.
No.
Pacifism comes on the board. Vampire Nighthawk drawn for Jason's turn.
One of 2 in his deck.
And he won't.
He has a Murder, I think is his last card. Jason's last card. Yep. Nighthawk comes down. Cedric discards a Forest to the Rummaging Goblin. He needs one of his bombs right now. He needs another mountain in the Hellkite.
Everyone's walking away. Man must be good.
Maybe the Elder Scale Worm. Elder Scale Worm doesn't even seem too strong against Jason because of the multiple kill spells in his deck, including Murder.
Pacifism comes down for Cedric. He's going to handle the Vampire Nighthawk. Probably the best way to handle pacifism, given that Jason has the distance. I mean, the best way to handle Vampire Nighthawk since Jason had the distance to him in hand.
Yep.
But Jason draws the other bomb in Krenko. Krenko's double red though, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be an issue. That won't be an issue, rather, just yet.
Cedric continues to get in for a couple points.
Jason this time has some regeneration mana up, or could use his murder at any point.
Cedric's gonna still get in because
Good spear.
it's not like the duty bound doesn't have any power.
Sure. Big one. Go.
So yeah, Cedric gets in for 1, making 12 life points all before Cedric passes back. I think the fact that he only has 1 mountain is being a bottleneck for him. Or maybe not. Chandra's Fury will attempt to get rid of the Ravenous Rats
right there.
while dropping Jason down to 8 life.
All right, 4. 3. 8, 12, you up? Yep.
Second mountain drawn by Jason. He can go with Krenko or turn to slag a creature.
I don't think Turn to Slagging's too good because there's the 2 creatures that's...
Are not that exciting.
Yeah. You want to save that for the Hellkite. I guess Jason also has Murder for any Hellkites, but... Jason mulling over his options, trying to come to a decision. What will he do?
It's like to Krenko or not to Krenko really looks like the decision here.
Looks like, yeah, he'll go with the mob boss, Krenko. Does Cedric have something to take
One
care
of his
it?
2 Oblivion Rings? There it is. So we're seeing Cedric with 2 pacifisms, Oblivion Ring on the board, discarded Divine Verdict.
Still had all these removal spells.
Just nibbling at Jason's life here.
Yeah, Jason's going to take it. He's going to go down to 5. Putting himself in range of, maybe an attack and a burn spell or Hellkite off the top. Maybe
So
Cedric
a mountain
already-
short from
yeah.
a Hellkite, but
Maybe Cedric has the Hellkite in hand. Just mountain off the top will do it.
Duty Bound Dead was going to come in for 2 or not?
I think now maybe Jason wants to turn to slag that acidic slime.
Starting to get out of hand for him.
Maybe disentomb the Ravenous Rats to come up with a chump blocker. And make Cedric discard one of his cards. It's clear that both of those cards are good for Cedric because he hasn't been playing them, right?
Yeah.
Go.
Nope, but Jason just passed the turn holding regeneration mana up. Cedric discards Playtest Board Rummaging Goblin. Draws for his turn. Discards Forest Rummaging Goblin.
Cedric digging for something.
Elvish Visionary gets played. Draws Cedric another card.
He comes in with the Death Touchers, just as he's been the past few turns. I feel like Cedric's just looking for that second mountain. That must be the card he's looking for.
Yeah, so Jason's going to block with Duty Bound Dead and regenerate. Take 1, go down to 4. Cedric doesn't have 2 Chandra's Furies, does he?
Oh, Cedric does have a mountain in his hand. So maybe it's a dragon he's out going for.
Okay.
But discarding the boar seems... His hand must be awesome.
Yeah.
He discarded a very castable boar that can't be blocked right now.
I think I saw a Searing Spear in his hand, so Jason takes just another point. Could be done for. Blade Test Board drawn for Jason this turn.
So he's still sitting on that murder.
Jason, considering how he can survive and deal, Cedric's last 12 points of damage. What?
Go with the boar?
Yeah, what is he coming out of the tank with? Plays the boar, he's dead to Hellkite. As opposed to if he holds up Murder, but Can't hold up
Disentomb
murder forever.
Chronometon.
Yeah.
Looks like this is a jumping.
Ooh, Cedric shows Mountain Hellkite to spell the end of the game. And there we go. Cedric Phillips wins round 7, 2-1. I think I want to try to get him into the booth.
Sounds good. Do you want to do an interview with him?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Can we,
So we'll get Cedric in the booth here.
that is
We'll go